بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Allah mentions regarding the Hurul Ain, Uruban at-Taraba. One word Allah uses is Uruban. According to some Mufassirin, this is in one hadith the Prophet ﷺ also mentions it, that the language of the people of Jannah will be Arabic, Uruban. So everybody will be speaking Arabic. Imagine, in this world the Quran is in Arabic, and in Jannah the language of the people of Jannah will be Arabic as well. That is why, in order to enjoy the words of Allah, in order to understand the true meanings of the words of Allah and the words of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, very important for us to understand Arabic. Very important. Allah give us understanding. Then one of the best things that really stands out for me, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in Jannah, Allah says regarding two people that will be taken on the day of Qiyamah. وَسِيقَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا إِلَى جَهَنَّمَ زُمَرًا. The people who disbelieve, they will be dragged to Jahannam in groups, in big groups together, in flocks. And on the other hand, the people of Jannah, وَسِيقَ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا رَبَّهُمْ إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ زُمَرًا. The people of Jannah, the people of Taqwa, will be taken towards Jannah. So they will be taken towards Jannah in groups. Hatta idha ja'uha, until when they will come, the door will already be opened. وَفُتِحَتْ أَبْوَابُهَا وَقَالَ لَهُمْ خَزَنَتُهَا. The doorkeeper of Jannah, whose name is Ridwan, he will say, Salamun alaykum, Salamun alaykum, Salamun alaykum. Tibtum, you have done really good, well done, excellent. فَادْخُلُوهَا خَالِدِينَ. Now this is, you are in here forever and ever. خُلُود بِلَا مَوْتٍ. When the people of Jannah will be in Jannah and the people of Jahannam will be in Jahannam, then Allah will bring death in between. And Allah will say, that this is death. It will be slaughtered in between, like how a sheep is slaughtered. That will be the happiest day for the people of Jannah. And that will be the worst day for the people of Jahannam. Just the fact that these enjoyments I am having, I am going to have these forever and ever. Can there be anything better than this? Today a person is happy, he is enjoying himself. Be it wedding season, be it Eid, be it any other function, some happy occasion. But the fact that it's only for today, or the fact that it's only for these 2-3 days, and then tomorrow or 2-3 days later it's back to work, back to normal life. Just just enjoy for today, tomorrow back to work. And it doesn't let him enjoy. It's very limited. Khalideen, forever and ever, never coming to an end. But like I mentioned, one thing that really stands out for me regarding Jannah is that Allah did not say, and Allah in one place of the Quran says that we will tell Jannah to come close to the muttaqeen. We will not tell them go to Jannah. We will tell Jannah come close to them. وَأُزْلِفَتِ الْجَنَّةِ. We will bring Jannah close to the muttaqeen. You don't need to go anywhere. Jannah will come straight here for you. وَبُرِّزَتِ الْجَحِيمُ لِلْغَاوِينَ. Jahannam will be made very, very far for them. Imagine. So just the traveling there in itself will be a punishment. Allah save us. So there will be a lot of people from who are we mentioned 3 groups. Allah mentioned in the beginning of Surah Al-Waqi'ah, وَالسَّابِقُونَ السَّابِقُونَ. Some of the Mufassirin, they mentioned that Sabiqun are the Anbiya, prophets. والصادقين صديقين من النبيين والصديقين. Siddiqeen are those people, whatever is inside them, outside is totally the same. There's no contradiction. So inside they love Allah, the actions they show it as well. There's no contradiction. Yeah, I know it's right, but then the action is not showing it. So that is not a Siddiq. Siddiq is inside and his outside is exactly how it was. And Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu is not only Siddiq, he's the greatest Siddiq, Siddiqul Akbar, the Imam of all the Siddiqeen, was-Shuhada, the martyrs, was-Salihin, the pious people. So these are the four categories the ulama mentioned will be the Sabiqeen and Sabiqun, in the really upper class. Inshallah, Allah has given us this month to become from among them, Salihin. By doing the good deeds, become from among the Salihin. By rectifying our life, become from those who are Siddiqeen, inshallah. And then the second category, وَأَصْحَابُ الْيَمِينَ مَا أَصْحَابُ الْيَمِينَ, the people of the right. Who are the people of the right? We went through that yesterday as well. And now the third category which we need to go through today, وَأَصْحَابُ الشِّمَالِ مَا أَصْحَابُ الشِّمَالِ, the people of the left hand. Who are the people of the left hand? Now this is the people who either disbelieved, like Allah is mentioning now, or they believe but they died without tawbah. So they never had a chance of making tawbah. They committed a lot of sins in their life. And that is Iman. Al-Imanu bayna al-khawfi wa-raja. Iman has two wings. One wing is the hope of Allah, hope of the mercy of Allah, and one wing is to fear Allah. When a person is committing any disobedience, fear should be in front of him. Jahannam should be in front of him. No. What if this sins take me? So that Jahannam, that thought of Jahannam, that fear of Allah should stop him from that. Maybe this sin I'm committing, so it shouldn't allow it. It's like a speed camera, or it's like a camera there. It's like a warning sign. On the other hand, when a person is doing something good, he should be hopeful that maybe this deed, could afford me the mercy of Allah. Maybe this deed will take me to Jannah. You shouldn't look down on any deed, be it the minutest of all deeds it may seem to you, and never look down on any sin. Maybe that same sin could lead you to Jahannam. Today we say, it's only a little sin. No. It will be these little sins, little, that will add up and end the person up in Jahannam. Many people, they say, it's only a small sin, minor sin. When a small sin is committed repeatedly, then it doesn't remain a minor anymore, it becomes a major. So if a person has committed a minor sin, for example, 10 times, now it will become a major sin. And sometimes Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu says regarding the tafsir of this ayah, where Allah says, "Man jaa bil hasana falahu ashru amthaliha." The one who has committed one good deed, then he will get minimum 10. وَمَنْ جَاءَ بِالسَّيِّئَةِ, the one who does one evil, then he will get just the amount which he has done. So many people, they say, I've only committed one sin, so I'm only going to get one sin written. On the other hand, I've committed one good deed, I will get 10. So I already have more good deeds. Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu explaining this ayah, he said, this ayah should not put you in misunderstanding. Sometimes the effects, the side effects after the sin are worse than the sin itself. Never mind, just you ending up with that one sin, upon you, you may end up with big major sin with it. The side effects of it. Then he gives a few examples. Then he says, for example, a person, he has committed one sin, but he has no regret over that sin. He's happy, he's okay with it. As if he is okay making Allah angry. That in itself is a major sin. Another example, a person, he commits a sin and then he talks about it. He tells other people about it, he advertises it. It's happening in social media, it's very common today. I went to the movies today. What a program that was, committing haram for 2-3 hours, disobedience of Allah, and then advertising it to the whole world. The Prophet ﷺ mentions, كُلُّ أُمَّتِي مُعَافًا إِلَّا الْمُجَاهِدُونَ. All of my ummah will be forgiven except the mujahid. The Sahaba said, who are the mujahid, O Prophet of Allah? He said, that person who committed a sin, Allah covered it, and then he himself goes out and advertises. Allah said, you disobeyed me, I covered you, I concealed your faults, and you yourself are going out boasting about the disobedience you did to me, I will never forgive you. لا يحب الله الجهر بالسوء. Allah does not like advertisement in evil. Allah hates it. So you do something wrong, quietly do tawbah of Allah. Don't let anybody find out about it. So Abdullah ibn Abbas says that these are some of the side effects. A person is committing a sin, and then the next day he tells his friends about it, and the other friends who were not part of him who were committing that sin, he lost out, as if he feels that I lost out, as if he's regretting that I didn't get a chance to disobey Allah. These things are worse than the sin itself. Allah save us. These are all the side effects. So Allah says, وَأَصْحَابُ الشِّمَالِ مَا أَصْحَابُ الشِّمَالِ فِي سَمُومٍ وَحَمِيمٍ. They will be in hot winds, samum, heat wave. وَظِلْ وَحَمِيمٍ. They will be in hot boiling water. In Surah Al-Rahman, Allah says, يُرْسَلُ عَلَيْكُمَا شُوَاظٌ مِّن نَّارٍ وَنُحَاسٌ فَلَا تَنْتَصِرَانِ. They will be made to inhale smoke. We see our fellow brothers and sisters suffering in Syria. Allah make it easy for them. The chemical that they are made to inhale, due to which they die. That in itself is a punishment. Allah is mentioning similar regarding Jahannam, but the fact in this world you die. So on the other hand, you have that you're shaheed if you are oppressed the wrong way, and then inshallah you have good. But in Jahannam, لا يقضى عليهم فيموتوا. You will feel the pain, you will be trembling, you will want to die, you will be dying to die, but you will never die. That's the worst part of it. A person will get the pain, but he will never die. A person is suffering in this world, and he is going through problems upon problems, illnesses upon illnesses, this issue, that issue, and then all of a sudden we get the news that he's passed away or whatever. Then on one side we do regret that he's left this world, but on the other side we feel a bit sympathetic as well, that actually it was better for him to die. He was suffering a lot anyway. Bichara, he didn't have a very good life, he was in so much problem, everything. Alhamdulillah, at least he's in a better place. In Jahannam he will be suffering from all directions, in every way, up, down, every direction he will be suffering from. There's no end to it. La baridi wa la kareem. There's no cold there, nothing cool, nothing for peace of mind, no honor there. إِنَّهُمْ كَانُوا قَبْلَ ذَلِكَ مُتَرَفِينَ. These people, they were enjoying too much in their life, in the world. They never had time for Allah, they never had time for the masajid, they never had time for anything else. In another surah Allah mentions, in Surah Muddassir, Allah says, when the people in Jahannam will be asked, مَا سَلَكَكُمْ فِي سَقَرٍ. How did you end up in Jahannam? How did you end up here? The first thing they will say, قالوا, they will, لم نكن من المصلين. We never used to perform salah. That's the first thing they will say. That's the first thing that will come to their mind, that we never perform salah. Imagine. وَلَمْ نَكُ نُطْعِمُ الْمِسْكِينَ. We never used to feed the poor people, the people who were in need. We had plenty of money to waste in weddings. We had plenty of money to waste on useless activities. But when it came to feeding poor people, we never had money. Just a few months ago, the Rohingya issue was happening. It's still going on. Allah make it easy for them. And it's just that at that time the media picked it up, and then we felt concerned for it, and many people visited. But the issue is still there. It still hasn't finished. Allah make it easy for them. It's ongoing suffering, ongoing oppression, genocide going on in many different parts in the world. So one Maulana who went there, the Imam of a masjid in another area, he went there to see the situation, and he saw the situation, and he was very, very, taken back by the way the people were living. And he came back, and wherever he was going, he was telling people to, donate, and said, brothers, if Allah has given you food, whatever extra you have, just give it to these people. These people are in need. And just around those times that Maulana was mentioning, he himself, mentioned it in front of me. He was crying as well when he was mentioning. He said, just after I came back, the week later, I was invited to a wedding. And they said the amount of wastage and the amount of money that was being wasted in that wedding, I had to walk out. I told the brothers, I've just seen people dying on the other side of the world. And this is the wastage you guys are doing? When will you wake up? 30, 40, 50,000 in a wedding? Do you really need to hire so many cars? Do you really need to invite so many people? But it doesn't concern us. That it's like our hearts have become dead. وَلَمْ نَكُنْ نُطْعِمُ الْمِسْكِينَ. وَلَمْ نَكُنْ نُطْعِمُ الْمِسْكِينَ. Allah revive our heart. This is not, we are not, if this the way the ummah is today, and we are still considering having a lavish weddings and lavish, parties and all this, we still haven't learned our lesson. This is not the time. This is not the time. This is the time to spend the least money on these things, most money on where the money is needed. Least money of ourselves, least money on, our parties and everything. Allah give us understanding. Mutrafeen means those who used to enjoy life. They love their life. They love the luxury of the life. They never had time for anything else. وَكَانُوا يَقُولُونَ وَكَانُوا يُصِرُّونَ عَلَى الْحِنْسِ الْعَظِيمِ. And they used to be firm, they used to be stubborn on the sins. Nah, I can't live this sin. I can't perform salah. I can't stop lying. How will my business run if I stop lying? How can I perform salah? How can I do this? How can I stop this? We tell brothers, we tell the people, do you know this is sin? No. Well, what can we do? The people, committing big sins, look at them. I'm only committing this small sin. No, but that is not the attitude. وَكَانُوا يُصِرُّونَ. They were stubborn on the sins. وَكَانُوا يَقُولُونَ. And they used to say, أَإِذَا مِتْنَا وَكُنَّا تُرَابًا وَعِظَامًا أَإِنَّا لَمَبْعُوثُونَ. When we die and when we become dust, are we really going to be, brought back to life? Are we really going to end up in Jannah and Jahannam? Meaning they never used to believe in the afterlife. Today that is the situation of many Muslims as well. They say they believe, but the actions are totally as if they don't believe in the afterlife. They want to enjoy all the goodness in this world as if there is no Jannah. Allah save us. We need to live a life as a traveler. We cannot make this life the be all and the end all. This life isn't everything. This life is a test. Who will make Allah the most happy in this life? And in Ramadan we try to somehow, train on this test. But normally, the rest of the month we see, It's already been 1 week of Ramadan and we can already see the crowd in the masjid going down. We can already see the fizz dropping. That is a reality. In every masjid you go to, the first week or the first few days, mashallah, rush, buzz, Ramadan, 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 everything. And then after a week the whole fizz goes down. And then you see them again in the last few nights of Ramadan again. So in between, about 2 weeks of Ramadan have gone wasted. 2 weeks of Ramadan in between have gone wasted. That Ramadan which the Prophet ﷺ mentions is the season. You do one nafil ibadah, Allah will give you the reward of 1 farad. You do 1 farad, Allah will give you the reward of 70 fara'id. And after a week, for the middle 2 weeks just become normal days. The only difference is that they just about fast during the day and they just manage to make it to Taraweeh in the night. That's about it. They don't do anything more. And then they feel very content, Alhamdulillah. The bus boti, you know, as much as I can do that, that's more than enough. No. Ramadan is the season. How can I do more? How can I do more? How can I read more Quran? How can I spend more time in the masajid? How can I give more charity? How can I? It should be more and more. We should never feel content. Maybe this charity will go to take me to Jannah. Maybe this charity, maybe this Quran, maybe this time I'm going to the masjid may take me to Jannah. Maybe this time I'm going to. وَآبَاؤُنَا الْأَوَّلُونَ قُلْ إِنَّ الْأَوَّلِينَ وَالْآخِرِينَ. Allah says that the forefathers used to say the same thing as well. The forefathers, people who came before us, they used to say the same thing. Now they're all in the graves. The houses that many people may be living in, the old Victorian houses that were built 100 years ago, 200 years ago, the people who built it, the people who first initially bought it, they thought they were going to live in it forever and ever. They are nowhere to be seen today. They are in the graves. Similarly, 100 years, 200 years down the line, will there be any trace of me and you? Something to really think about, ponder. فَمَا بَالُ الْقُرُونِ الْأُولَى. What has happened to the people before will happen to us as well. ثُمَّ إِنَّكُمْ أَيُّهَا الضَّالُّونَ الْمُكَذِّبُونَ لَآكِلُونَ مِنْ شَجَرٍ مِّنْ زَقُّومٍ. They will be made to eat from the tree of Zaqum. Zaqum is a very thorn, plenty of thorns in it. It is in the middle of Jahannam. إِنَّهَا شَجَرَةٌ تَخْرُجُ فِي أَصْلِ الْجَحِيمِ. When a person will eat from it, then his intestines will rip, tear, will get all messed. On top of that, فَمَالِئُونَ مِنْهَا الْبُطُونَ. They will have to fill their stomachs with it because that's the only thing they've got in front of them to eat. They have no other choice. So either you don't eat or you eat this. There's no other choice. It's Jahannam. Allah save us. Allahumma ajina min al-nar. Allahumma ajina min al-nar. Allahumma ajina min al-nar. Every time when we are thinking about missing salah, Jahannam should be in front of us. Every time we are thinking about committing any disobedience of Allah, Jahannam should be in front of us. That thought, why is Allah opening Jahannam so much? Why is Allah, is it like trying to scare us or something? No. It's trying to stop us from disobeying Allah. A warning sign. Don't do this, otherwise you may end up in this. Don't do this, otherwise you know, Allah mentioning Jahannam is also the mercy of Allah. That Allah is warning us. Don't do this. Otherwise you don't want to end up here. The Prophet ﷺ mentions, my example, masali wa masalukum. My example and your example is like a person. He's ignited a big fire. And then all these flies and all these moths and everything are trying to go into the fire, jump into the fire. And the person is trying to move all the flies and everything away from the fire. The Prophet ﷺ mentions, that is my example. All of you are trying to jump into the fire of Jahannam. I am trying to move you away from it. That don't do this, you will end up in Jahannam. Come to me, I will take you to Jannah. فَشَارِبُونَ عَلَيْهِ مِنَ الْحَمِيمِ. They will, on top of that, they will be made to drink hot boiling water. On top of that thorns that they are already filling the stomach with, in order to push it down, there will be hot boiling water. And then Allah says, فَشَارِبُونَ شُرْبَ الْهِيمِ. And they will drink that hot boiling water like a thirsty camel. Because they got no other choice. The heat of Jahannam is making them thirsty. And on top of that, they are eating zaqum, which is not going down properly. So in order to push it down, they have no other choice but to drink that hot boiling water. And they are drinking it. And they will be drinking it. That is one drink. Another place Allah says in Surah Al-Kahf, وَإِن يَسْتَغِيثُوا يُغَاثُوا بِمَاءٍ كَالْمُهْلِ يَشْوِي الْوُجُوهِ. They will be given sadid, the pus of the people of Jahannam. And they will look at it and they will say, how a person makes a funny mouth, makes a funny, he doesn't want to drink it, يَتَجَرَّعُهُ. He will want to vomit it, but then he will still have to drink it. وَلَا يَكَادُ يُصِيغُهُ وَيَأْتِيهِ الْمَوْتُ مِنْ كُلِّ مَكَانٍ. Death will be coming to him from every, I can't have that, I'm going to die. So his food will be making him die, his drink will be making him die, the smoke will be making him die, the heat will be making him die, death will be coming to him from every angle. وَمَا هُوَ بِمَيِّتٍ. But he will not die. And Allah says, this is just the beginning. وَمِنْ وَرَائِهِ عَذَابٌ غَلِيظٌ. There's even a bigger punishment coming after this. هَذَا نُزُلُهُمْ يَوْمَ الدِّينِ. This will be the entertainment, this will be the hospitality on that day. So what is the message of Surah Al-Waqi'ah and the whole Quran and wherever Allah mentions Jannah and Jahannam? Jannah is the eternal pleasure. Don't compromise it for anything in this world. Jahannam is the eternal punishment. Don't compromise it for anything in this world. For the limited enjoyment, I need to do it once. It's part of life, you need to do it. Don't do it. If it is something haram, something disobedience of Allah, don't do it. Otherwise you are compromising your Jannah. And you are not doing what Allah has told you to do, you are giving up your Jannah in the Akhirah. That is the month of Ramadan. In the month of Ramadan, we do what Allah has told us to do. We don't do what Allah has told us not to do. That is a life which we should be living all the time. That is a life which a person who believes in Jannah, who believes in Jahannam should be living all the time. That the thought of Jannah, the pleasures of Jannah should be putting him, not only Ramadan. The thought of Jannah, the pleasures of Jannah should be bringing him to the masjid every day, should be making him do good every day. And the thought of Jahannam, the punishments of Jahannam, the descriptions of Jahannam should be stopping a person from committing sins every day, not only in Ramadan. Ramadan is not a month just to pause the evils in a person's life. I mention this all the time. Ramadan is not the month just to pause the evil. That is Ramadan, don't do it. Ramadan is a month to delete that evil from a person's life permanently. Many people say, oh, it's only Ramadan. After Ramadan then we'll do it. But you shouldn't be doing this at all. May Almighty Allah, may first of all give me the ability, give all of us the ability. Ameen wa sallallahu wa sallam ala rasulina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi.